Hello. So, MyCraftClub has been advertising at me fairly strenuously for several months now, and it is entirely my fault because of algorithms and because I clicked on one of their ads. And the internet that we have built for ourselves says that if you click on an ad or look at something for more than 0.4 of a second, you are going to be served more and more of that content. So it is my fault that I have this box, because they kept advertising at me, and the longer they advertised at me, the dodgier it all seemed. Now, I don't know that it is dodgy. I haven't opened this box yet. This might be fantastic. I don't know. But everything leading up to the arrival of this box has smelled a little bit fishy. So if you're not interested in the backstory, which is actually really well formed and thought through, but that's fine, it's okay. If you're not interested and you just want to see what's in the box, I will meet you at this timestamp. And for the rest of you, I've actually got a list. I don't script my videos, but I've got a list. So let's go through the list because I've written it in quite big writing so that I don't have to pick it up and look at it. The reason I initially clicked on a MyCraftClub ad in the first place was because they were offering 70% off a mystery craft box. I love a mystery box. I am a sucker for a mystery box. The amount of crap I have ended up with in my house because it was in a mystery box, I don't want to talk about it. And I also love a craft kit because I like trying new crafts, and I like trying them in such a way that means I don't have to go to Spotlight and spend $800 on supplies and tools. So a good craft kit, very pleasing thing. A good mystery box, very rare. I don't think I've ever actually encountered a really good one. But I thought, hey, 70% off, let's go and see what they have. So it wasn't until I was at the checkout page for that particular offer that I realised it was 70% off the first box in a 3-month subscription, and you had to buy the full 3-month subscription. The full price per month for that subscription is $92. And I will point out that yes, according to MyCraftClub, this box, which is about the size of a trade paperback, is $92 in value, which I sincerely doubt, but we will find out. So when I saw that on the checkout page, I closed the tab and walked away, but I had made the fatal mistake of clicking a link, and the algorithm just went, well, she loves that, she wants more of that, let's keep showing it to her. And then I was foolish enough to actually watch the ads, because if you watch the ads, the algorithm, oh, it's a whole big loop. Anyway, the reason I was watching the ads is because the ads are weird. So they start off, most of the ads that I saw are the same format. They start off with a woman sitting at a table. I can reenact it for you because I still have my prop box. So sitting at a table with the box propped up, and she's smiling and waving at the camera like that, very happy. And then there's some product shots, and then there's some shots of people doing crafts. All of this with a very jaunty voiceover, sort of saying, I get my craft kits delivered monthly and it's the greatest thing I've ever done and I love doing new crafts and all the rest of it. So, that sounds normal. It's a very weird ad though. All of the ads are very weird. First and foremost, the woman sitting at the table and waving at the camera is AI generated. So it struck me as very strange that a creative company, which according to the website is a US-owned family business, couldn't find someone to sit at a table and wave at the camera. Like, even if it was, you know, the receptionist or, you know, Steve's daughter, whatever, there must be someone in that orbit who would be willing to do a 3-second shot of that. I mean, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it for free. Then the other weird thing was the product shots are filmed in such a way that you cannot see the product at all. So it's a load of craft kits, hundreds, maybe thousands of craft kits in a big warehouse tub that is being tipped so that they're all pouring into another tub. So even if you manage to pause it, because it is very quick cuts, even if you do manage to pause it at the right time, what you're going to see is a blur and maybe a little bit of colour from the label, but you're not going to be able to see what that kit is actually about, what it might be. And the shots of people doing crafts, I cannot confirm, but I would suspect that they are stock footage, which again strikes me as very strange, because if you are running a creative company, surely you have some creative people around who would be willing to do some diamond painting on camera. So it all just struck me as very, very strange. So when I got another 70% off offer, I thought, well, let's see what they're trying to scam me with this time. And I went through the checkout process, and I got to the checkout page, and there was just the one item on the checkout page, and it was this box. I'm going to pick it up again. I've paid about $34 for this. I'm going to get my money's worth. This was the only thing on the checkout, this and the postage. There was no mention of subscriptions. There was no mention of monthly billing. There was no mention of anything like that. And I scoured that page. I did a Control F to make sure that there wasn't anything in white text at the bottom or tiny little text. I looked all over every page leading up to that checkout page and the checkout page itself to make sure that what I was buying was this one box and not a follow-up subscription. No mention of a follow-up subscription on this purchase. I was very, very careful. One of the things that really stood out for me on the checkout screen was the postage cost, which is $2.99, which is very cheap. Never in my lifetime, I would suggest, has a parcel of this size been sent from the United States to Australia for $3. So I immediately thought, that is China Post prices, and these are being drop shipped from China. And I was correct. It was shipped from China the next day. So as soon as I saw that from this US-based family-owned company and all the rest of it, I went digging around on their Facebook page because I wanted to see what kind of kits they were actually selling. There are very, very, very few examples of their actual kits on the Facebook page or on their website or on their Instagram. There are a few from reviews where you can sort of see what sort of kits people are getting, but most of the images on their Facebook page are just general crafty images. And one of the ones I found was this one, which is a woman completing a latch hook rug with a little blurb about how wonderful latch hook is and how it's creative and how it brings out the best in people. It doesn't actually say that, but it's heavily implied. The thing about this photo though was that that rug was really familiar and I knew where I had seen it before, and that was at MyCraftClub, which is confusing because it's a very similar name, but it is a different company. MyCraftClub operates out of Sydney in Australia and they sell latch hook and cross stitch and needlepoint kits. And I had happened to be on their website a couple of weeks prior shopping their end of financial year sale. So I had seen that rug and this image of the latch hooking lady on the MyCraftClub Facebook page. This is going to get confusing really quickly, isn't it? Anyway, it's stolen directly from this video from MyCraftClub announcing their new kits. Another thing I found interesting in the photo gallery was these mossy coasters. Now, MyCraftClub in Sydney does sell mossy coaster kits, mossy coaster kits, very hard to say, but we'll pretend I did it well. But it doesn't look like these. These ones, the way that it's staged and lit, I thought this looks like something from AliExpress or Alibaba, and I was right, I found these on Alibaba. So that's curious to me, not that they're buying cheap kits and then flogging them for way too much money, which I suspect is what's going on here, but we will find out. It's that they're not even bothering to stage their own images. They're not even bothering to have someone in the office because they're not based in the US. They're not a family company. There's nobody in an office anywhere to do it. But if I was running a creative company, and really I should be, I would be, even if I was importing the kits from China, I would be assembling them so that I could do my own amazing photo shoots, not just take the image from the actual listing on the import site. But that's how I would do things, which is the correct way, but that doesn't mean it's the only way. And I think that's all I have to say. No, there is one more thing. Do you remember earlier when I said that I had scoured the whole checkout page and all of the preceding pages to make sure that I was not buying a subscription? Do you remember when I said that? That I had very, very carefully checked every single page, because there was about 6 pages before I got to the checkout page, and then on the checkout page itself. And I was absolutely so thorough and so careful to make sure that this was not a subscription. This was a subscription because I went back to the website to check something and there's a little button that says manage my subscriptions, and I thought, I'm just going to click that just to be really, really sure. And according to that little button, on the information behind that little button, I was due to be billed another $92 on the 1st of August for my next mystery craft kit box, which I don't know if it would have been this size or bigger or smaller, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, put that the right way up because we're professionals, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is probably not $92 worth of stuff. Alternatively, it could be a special subscription box that they use for the discount offer, in which case it's got less stuff in it so that they're not losing money. I'm going to be surprised if this is even the $35 worth of stuff. But, excitingly for you all who have sat through the blather, I'm about to open the box. Welcome to the craft table, and you can tell it's the craft table because it's covered in stuff, because I never put down a protective cloth, even when instructed to. So I will remind you that according to the MyCraftClub website, this is $92 of value. I paid about $34 for it, so we'll see if it's worth either of those monetary amounts. I'm expecting diamond painting, because apparently they're really big on their diamond painting. Oh, I should have bought a drum for a drum roll. I don't have one handy, so we're just going to open the box. Oops. What is going on here? Okay, so there's a little note to say, we're excited to present your May box of diamond painting delights. Your diamond painting kits have been carefully hand-picked just for you, and we trust you'll enjoy every moment they bring. This is not diamond painting. This is, okay, this is a Twinkling Heart 3D string light, which is interesting. It's got some string in it, which is good because it's a string light, and presumably some instructions. Oh, there's gloves, there's LED lights, there's all sorts in there. I'm looking at those very close and not showing you. So I think those are gloves, LED lights. This might be a protective cloth, which is not going to happen. What else have we got in here? We have got, okay, a DIY flamingo macrame, that's how I say it, I'm Australian, macrame keychain, which is actually, I'm going to say, very, very cute. And I am going to make this at some point. I've wanted to get into macrame, actually, and I just never quite get round to it. I've got a few kits kicking around, so that is adorable. It's reflecting the light quite a lot. Very cute. Definitely something that I would make. And then the third and final, oh, okay. The third and final, I'm just going to get this out of shot because it's a very orange, is a DIY Lovely Fox, which is a crochet kit, which comes with the yarn and I presume that's stuffing. That's like vacuum sealed stuffing. I'm going to actually open that because it is very shiny and I just want to have a look at the yarn because that's who I am as a person. Can I open this smoothly on camera? Yes, I can. Of course I can. Okay, so little tiny amounts of yarn there. Very cute. What else have I got? I've got safety eyes. I've got a lot of safety eyes. I'm just going to check the instructions on this. This is not relevant. Just pretend that was a really fancy, like, star wipe or something. So, as you can see, I have unpacked one of the kits because my plan for this video was to open the box after talking at you for a little bit too long and then actually doing one of the kits so that I could see what the quality of the materials was like, what the instructions are like, if it's a complete and workable kit. So, I thought I would start with the Twinkling Heart 3D string light, as you can see illustrated there. So I've opened the kit, I've unpacked it. I've got two kinds of string, or two colours of string. I've got matching tassels for the string. I've got two sets of LED lights. I don't know if they work, I haven't checked. I've got two pairs of disposable gloves. I've got 3 balloons. I don't mean to brag, but I do have 3 balloons. I've got, oh, that's it. I've got a star-shaped balloon, sort of, and then two, speaking of sort of, 2 of the heart-shaped balloons as well. You can see just at the top there, there's a little sort of dip. I've also got 2 straws to inflate the balloons with. Now, what I don't have is any instructions, and I don't have any glue. Now, I don't know if you're the kind of person who's wrapped string around a balloon before. I feel like you are. I am as well, so we can speak as equals on this matter. There needs to be glue for this project. You can wrap this string around the balloons as long as you like. As soon as that balloon deflates, that string is falling apart. It needs to be dipped in glue. It needs to be really, really saturated with glue so that it holds its shape when it dries. So I've got no instructions. There's nothing on the back here. I thought maybe there might be a QR code or something that would direct me to a website or a video tutorial or something like that. I can show you the empty bag to prove that there's no instructions in that. So I thought, well, okay, we're not going to do that one. I have glue. I mean, I do have glue. I have a really intriguing amount of glue. I seem to accumulate it. So I can do this because I've done it before and I'm just, that sounded really defensive. I do actually know how to wrap string around a balloon. So I could do this. I have done it before. I do have glue. But I thought, well, let's go with one that's got instructions. So I'm going to put all this to one side. And we're going to look at the flamingo, except I have noticed a problem with that as well. So here's the flamingo, the macrame flamingo keychain. And this comes with the macrame cord in pink, black and beige. It comes with a key chain loop thingy, so that you put your keys on. The bit that you put your keys on the key ring. It's got one of them. It's got a glue stick for a hot glue gun. It has got no instructions. No QR code, no written instructions, no link to a video, nothing. So, put that to one side. The Fox does have instructions, and the reason for that is because the Fox is actually produced by a different company. It's got a MyCraftClub sticker on the back, where they've tried to make it look like it's their product that they've had custom made. These ones have been custom packed. They have got the MyCraftClub logo printed on the inserts, but the only one with any actual instructions is the Fox, because it was made by a different company. I found this one on AliExpress for about $8.50. So this one is doable. It's just going to take me too long to do it for this video, because this video would not come out possibly until 2028. I'm a very slow crocheter. So this kit here, which is, I don't know, I'm going to see if I can find who's made it. It's all over AliExpress. It's presumably all over Temu and Wish as well. I don't think it has, no, it doesn't have a company of production. So I find that interesting in that they're obviously mixing up where they're getting their kits from, and they're obviously not willing to invest the time or energy into writing up instructions for anything. Now, the flamingo, there are tutorials for a flamingo like this all over the internet. There's a few on YouTube, there's a few I think on TikTok. So it is not impossible for me to make this. I just have to go and dig up a tutorial to do it. Same thing with the balloon, I just need to find a tutorial. Here's the thing though, I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to go looking to a third party to get the instructions to make the kits that I have paid for. I remind you that they claim this box is worth $92. And if I had paid $92 for it instead of the $34 or whatever it was I paid, I would be beyond rageful that there was not a single instruction for this flamingo, not a single instruction for this string light. Nothing. Not a thing. You've made it to the outro. Well done. Now the question is, should you give your money to MyCraftClub? And the answer to that question is absolutely not. Do not do that. Terrible idea. No. Not worth it. This box is not worth $92. It is not worth the $32 or $34. Let's say $32. It's not worth the $32 that I paid for it. Now, I don't know what the prices are like internationally, but for Australians, this is a $92 a month subscription box. It is not worth it. So the two kits that they have had manufactured specifically for them, either that or they've had branded specifically for them, I couldn't find those on AliExpress or Temu or anywhere else like that. So I would assume that's the flamingo keyring and the string balloon situation. So I would assume that they have been manufactured and then MyCraftClub has paid for custom branding to go into the inserts. The Fox is available on AliExpress for about $8.50. So even if you're very generous with the pricings and the costs of the other two kits, that gets you up to about $24, although AliExpress is not wholesale. So, but let's just pretend that it is, because I don't want to do any further maths. I've just done maths on this. So it's about $24 worth of kits, if you're generous. And the leap from $24 to $32 is not that terrible when you consider that they have to have people to pack the boxes, ship them out, all of that. People need to be paid. I get that. The jump from $24 to $92 is unacceptably high, especially when you're getting kits that don't include instructions. That's what I can't get past. I can overlook the fact that they didn't include glue, because that's difficult to post. You need a lot of glue for a project like that. It's heavy, it puts up postage costs, it might burst in the package, whatever. So I can appreciate that they didn't include glue, because glue is reasonably easy to get hold of. I cannot get past the fact that they did not include instructions. If you are interested in craft kits, there are masses of places online that will sell you a cheap craft kit that will let you try something new. And I do appreciate that the mystery aspect is appealing, because that's the sort of thing that appeals to me. Getting a kit for a craft that I might not have heard of or never thought to try, and yet doing it because it's in my house, I might as well do something with it, and finding out that it's fun, that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun of a mystery box. This is not going to be the mystery box for you, because what you want is instructions. I'm stuck on it. I'm really stuck on it. I think it's setting people up for failure to not include instructions. If you are a crafty person and you are ordering this because you are sort of familiar with crafting, it's probably not quite as terrible. But if you're ordering this box because you've never been crafty, you don't do crafts and you want to try and get into it, you're being set up for failure. And I realise that I am now taking the side of someone who might not even exist, but that's just who I am as a person. So yeah, don't give them any money. They'll sign you up for a sneaky subscription, even though they don't say they're going to do that. It's not worth the money, and there are better places to get craft kits from. And I think that's all I have to say, surprisingly. Okay, that is all I have to say. You take care of yourself, have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.